Welcome to another episode of this Conscious Reconstruction. I almost called this Sam's Club, but that's all right.
I feel like that's very close to happening every single time.
Yeah, man.
Until we really differentiate the intros of the two, or we get some type of audio cue that separates them.
Yeah, man.
It's very so inclined.
There's going to be some headphones this year. But as you hear, Charles is here. Ash is over there giggling on the microphone.
I'm not here. Fuck that.
Never mind. She's not here. Fuck that. It's just me. Why does it... Who's not... Have you spoken, Charles?
Did
Yes.
I speak? Is it me?
I don't know. I just know that... Am I the middle one? Yes, I'm the middle one. That can't be the top one because I've been talking this whole time in the top one.
Oh, yeah. I did it out of order.
Okay, cool.
That's not the way that normally happens. You are not insane for looking at that top one.
All right, because I was like, I am speaking and there is nothing happening and I need there to be things doing stuff or we will stop now.
Yep. I mean, I would rather stop now than have an entire episode go by and then everyone just kind of puts their stuff on and walks out because that's what we do in those situations. It's just like, well, guys, see you tomorrow.
It's ghetto.
We've done it before.
It doesn't change how ghetto it is.
It doesn't change the fact that no one enjoys recording anything twice.
No, it's not the same. But how was y'all week? I haven't seen y'all. I don't think I really talked to y'all too much either.
Only thing we talked about was getting a mobile setup for the podcast, and also based on the day.
Oh, so the conversation that I eventually want to have, and why me and Charles just talked about a mobile setup is, me and Zay have really good conversations in his car when I'm going out to grab my wares. I'm like, we should really record this. There's going to be a lot of bleep names inside of the conversation because we get into it for real. Like, we'll use people's names and then like go into the explanation because like we know who we're talking about. So
that's when you're going to need your iPad more than likely.
Yeah, but the main conversation, the question that or topic that we had, and something that I want to eventually bring up is trauma in men and women and the propensity for women to want men to respect the fact that they've dealt with trauma but never reciprocate that energy.
What talk about today? That could be my topic.
What, nigga? No. How you saying my topic?
Tony wants there to be a whole...
I know.
Zay wants
forum about this.
No, I don't need that.
Okay.
I need more women.
Okay.
You're cheap.
Honestly... That will be our first basement conversation we talked about.
I've had this conversation preliminary with other people, and like, as in talking to it, like resentment popped up for them, and like they're like, I don't know if I can have this conversation because like the way I feel about certain things is like I need some women that also have like those layers of like conversation, and I feel like you two like evolved to like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm like, no, I need.
It's
someone.
either that or you'd end up getting jumped by a whole bunch of. You gonna end up getting jumped inside this conversation.
I'm okay with that.
I'm talking her getting jumped.
Oh,
You okay with that?
I'm okay with that as well. I'm okay with both of those, honestly.
Fuck what? No.
She gonna be like, "What you mean? Men are the reason why? Did you pick them? Well, yeah. Then shut the fuck up, then."
But I also
I'm gonna let y'all speak. I'm gonna let y'all speak a whole bunch.
You ready to get started on the book?
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna start that next Thursday.
We can have, yeah, sure. I mean, we gotta start it. Gotta start sometime.
Because we're doing the show this Thursday, right?
I'm gonna be able to
Thursday
do
after.
it this Thursday. I'm gonna be very
We're doing
busy.
the show
Next
this
Thursday.
Thursday. Well, then we skip last week, so I'm
confused. Whatever. We can have this conversation off mic. It makes more sense.
No.
All right, whatever.
All right.
Whatever. So, what have you been up to?
Work
That's it.
coming up. I have been creating a secured mobile server that you can store documents. Basically, a secure version of Google Docs that's not hosted on a Google S type enterprise. That means they don't have access to files or anything like that. We're completely and totally managing it, adding adding some version of Google Doc or Google Docs X functionality and a whole bunch of other stuff. But because we're hosting everything, it's our stuff and it's all secure. So encryption, all that other good stuff.
So I'm basically making an enclosed cloud network.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the Tony might want it face.
No, I'm just like, I've had very interesting experiences in the Air Force. Like I worked in a section that was like 2 pay grades higher than like what I was at the time.
Yeah.
To like be there. So you need top secret clearance. But my manager was pretty cool. So I used to sit in like, it's called the Zipper Net room, which is basically the military's like internal internet that isn't like connected to the regular internet.
Yeah.
And so that was interesting. And so that's basically what this sounds like to me.
Oh.
It's like a version of that. Yeah.
Just an internal network that only you guys can access through whatever means you have it set up.
So can you make ID cards?
Anybody can
No.
Like
For a computer.
I mean, all you need is the proper mechanisms.
All right, cool. I need this. I need these. We need these.
I can probably find a way, but that's that's a very arbitrary thing to bring up. I understand there's some thought process inside of your twisty ass head that led you to this.
I mean,
point.
you brought up the stuff you were doing. That reminded me of the stuff in the military. That reminded me of that. And
no, the need for those is the twisty thing.
Oh, well, we can get into that later.
Exactly.
But I just felt like if you wanted to know how I got there from the conversation,
I know how we got there from the conversation. That line was actually pretty simple to follow.
Yeah.
Why we need those is not so simple to follow because it seems random and arbitrary to me.
It's okay. But I haven't done nothing. What have I done? I worked. I don't like gassy women. I'm gonna just say it. Yeah.
They be out here farting?
No, like if you eat something and you just
burping.
Just like, what's up with you? Like that shit bothers me. Like
they're heavy and indigested.
I can't date a woman like that.
Well, now you know.
It's something that I just learned.
You know you can't date women with normal bodily functions.
No. That's not a normal bodily function.
You gonna be like you. Bad.
I eat things and I don't be gassy like that. I would just be just.
You just be adding shit to the list to just arbitrarily I count 1,500 more women.
I don't be arbitrary. I was literally
nigga, all the shit that you don't like sometimes just be like, why?
Because I was. Let me explain why.
No, I know why. It's something to do with
because you were inside of a quiet place with a woman who was burping a lot.
No, nothing to do with it. I literally just discovered this like this week.
Mm-hmm.
I got a training manager. She sat right next to me for me to do these calls and everything like that. Every day after lunch, this bitch got this whole indigestion fucking burp tray going on the entire time. And I'm just internally disgusted with this bitch and like, oh my God, why am I over here? I want to leave.
Well, I mean, you can't really say anything because it's like maybe there's some actual physical problem with her.
Yeah, I can't say nothing to
just
this
like,
woman or nothing.
I think you might need to critically. What do you eat? Oh, I eat nothing but cheese every day. It's just like
she just eat different shit. She just
like a carrot.
She ate like this little breakfast scramble that you microwave in a cup. One of those Jimmy Dean ones.
Yeah, no, I don't.
She ate one of those. She just be eating just different shit and burping.
It sounds like
I be so fucking mad.
Anybody who cooks anything like that in the microwave, I cannot really fuck with.
I be so mad. I'm not gonna lie.
I cannot fuck with like those. I cannot fuck with anything microwavable. I stopped buying all of it.
Yeah, no, I don't do the microwave food.
So.
Yeah, no, I don't do none of that.
If I can't cook, but I'm gonna go out and buy food.
Shit, she go out to the food truck where they like got a grill and like they make hamburgers and like actually like cook the food and still be fucking gassy ass. That shit is fucking, that blows me, bro. I'm just
obviously. It's just like she blows.
Add it to the list.
I'd be so mad every week. and it's only been 1 week really, but this entire week it's just like every day.
Well, I also think it's your
nigga.
overall level of doneness with the particular place probably attributes to you being.
No, she's cool.
Well, I'm not saying it's that, but the overall circumstances you are done with, and also you don't want them, and you also don't really, strike me as a person who you really like people sitting over your shoulder all that much. Especially for something that's probably not even that complicated
bitch.
to begin with. I have to train you how to call people and ask for stuff.
Realistically, if they created a video and web tutorial on how to operate their system, then you would be fine and you wouldn't need this. And then they would just do what other companies do and shadow your calls and listen in on some of your calls and then give you coaching and correcting on, say, hey, this is how you conducted some of these calls. This is how we would like you to do it. And then move on from there. What you niggas do is got me sitting next to someone who's burpy.
So
I'm so frustrated. I hate that shit. Like, the fact that I gotta go to the training, it just be blowing me. It just be like, oh my God, I'm gonna go sit next to her. And then I don't even understand, like, they all, like, they not old, cause like I'm assuming I'm close to their age. Because when I told them, cause they asked me how old I was, they're like, Tom, how old are you? 32. Damn, you look good. So we probably close to the same age, and y'all look rough. But that ain't got nothing to do with me.
y'all here looking real.
Y'all look like y'all life has been hard and it's shown. No, you know what I've learned out? I'm gonna be honest, and I think that y'all two have escaped it, and I love that. Cleveland life is really hard and rough on you, and it shows on niggas' faces and bodies.
Bruh.
Like, you've seen like how Cleveland niggas look.
It's only funny because I was rolling around with Jones one day, and then he points out that I'm sitting over here. I'm like, oh my goodness, you look like you've experienced 12 miles of bad road in 1 mile.
Yeah, Jones always looked slightly depressed.
You look like 131st Street before it got repaid.
I just always every day, you all right? Yeah. No, you're not.
Jones got that on his face.
Yeah.
It's
The
just
slightly depressed look. It's like you look like
they age.
There's whole other levels of it.
They
and
be
it's just
aging.
like
It's not even the look in your face. They age. Their physical body is aged because of like the stress and just like, I don't know why it's so hard for people out here.
I was thinking about that the other day because I'm like, is the trick to escape like a hard place, or is it because it's so fucking easy? It's so easy to get wrapped up in the easiness. Did that make sense? Like,
I mean, but they don't look like it's easy.
yeah,
I
but
know
it
what
won't
she's
look
saying,
like it, but
it is easy, but it's like they make it so much
more difficult. I suppose.
I think it's the discontinuity of their aspirations in comparison to their actual execution. Because a lot of people tend to want more.
Hey,
I know what it is.
Say that.
It's just like it's not the lack of ideas out here, because it'd be some great ass
It's
ideas.
all ideas.
Yeah, but then the other part, when it's just time to translate it, it's just like it don't go nowhere. So then they just end up frustrated. Fuck. It gotta be an internal thing.
Angry. And
they don't know who to be angry
themselves.
about. But then it just translates into like this buildup of pressure that don't do nothing. Like somebody just poke a tiny hole and it just go and they don't know where this leak is coming from. They just know it's been pumped up full of something. I don't know. That's like,
I mean, no matter how everything goes with us, at the very least, I am happy that it is just like, all right, we took the shot.
yeah.
If it goes off the rim, I'm not that upset. Like, what can you do? But you know what? I'm not like them. I don't have some random level of resentment that's just sitting there.
Yeah, like you make do what you have and you go for it. Like I was thinking the other day, like I don't really ask for too much permission to live my life, to be honest. Like I just do things. If it's good or if it's bad or if it's indifferent. I'm not really asking too many people about the direction of my life and how it should go, which is good because people just know that I got that air of independence and they try not to get into my way. But then it's also bad because no one's like there to be like, hey, you should probably not, because they just know I'm going to just, yeah.
Well, it's also just one of those things where I think it's either you got to pick one. You got to be okay with kind of where you're at and not worry about, not have like no goals whatsoever or anything like that. But you have to actually kind of set your goals within the mechanism that you're kind of willing to work in. If you're okay with working at a job, looking for gains at that job, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But if you are a person who works every single day, don't set a goal that you're going to start this business and go through all this stuff and sit there, basically lie to yourself. And then when you don't follow through, you're just like, you're super upset because it's just like, oh, the small business didn't work out. Well, how many hours a week did you dedicate to it? 15? Like, I only could work weekends. Well, at some point you got to work weekdays on it too, but I can't afford to quit my job.
Somebody said, he was like, yeah, I'll quit my I didn't want to work a 9 to 5 or some shit. And now I work 7 days a week. Like, it's like, well, you know, that's just the trade-off. But it's like always this harbor, like I said, it just feel like you would just get really excited with somebody here talking about their ideas and what they want to do, but they don't really want to move nowhere else. Like you'll talk about like, oh, I want to live here or I want to live over here. Well, ain't the rent $1,000, $1,500? I'm like, yeah, but I'm kind of prepared for that. Or I talked to somebody and he was like, yeah, you know, you got to be careful out there because the world is not a safe place. And I'm like, well, I don't view the world like that. I view the world as relatively safe, and not that it's my oyster, but wherever I go that I'll be relatively safe. So why would I stop myself?
The likelihood of something happening to you may be higher if you live in Cleveland, but if it's like 8% as opposed to 5% when you're dealing with thousands of people, the likelihood is still relatively low. But so yeah, especially if you don't look like a person who's worth robbing.
Yeah, like I'm not a little tiny, you know, petite, look like somebody could just pick you up and throw them over their shoulder, like, and put them in the back of their van. Like, I got that going for me, which is nice. Shout out to all my petite girls who have that problem. I wish you the effing best.
I do definitely think there's a disassociation between what they want and what they're willing to do. Like, not to go back to the trainer lady, but on her desk is like Lizzo. It's a vision board. It's Lizzo. It's $14 million. It's California lifestyle.
You ain't getting that here, lady.
Some weight loss stuff, some other things. But then when I speak to her and I talk to her about, like, she talked about her job and how she's been there for 6 years and how inside of this area you can go all the way. I was like, yeah, you never think about moving? And she's like, no, in this section you can go all the way up to G12, which is like one of the highest pay grades, which is all right, cool.
But what you just said, what's on that board?
All right, 6 right now. And sure, even if your goal is to move higher inside of this section, you can still get some of that stuff that's on that board. But my issue is her next statement was, but I like where I'm at. My dude, he's this and that, and he got this and that, and I'm pretty cool. I got a good boss. I might move and have like a boss I don't like, and I like where I'm at. Oh, so you've settled. Got it. You're comfortable.
Well, just pick one. Either you want to move forward.
No, she don't. She wants both. She wants to think that she wants to move forward, but wants to remain in the level of comfort that she has.
And that leads to an overall disparity. It's going to lead to unhappiness possibly at some point, or just the disparity in thought process, because it's like you're always thinking about moving forward as opposed to maximizing.
I don't know if she's thinking about moving forward. She just got that on her board. Maybe she's not really thinking about it.
It's just maybe it's something good to say. An arts and craft project for her.
Maybe it's just something good to say when people ask her about it. Because I don't know. I think that.
I guess maybe that, like I just said, I always feel that either my intuition, like even with relationships, like you could have a great guy and everything and then provide for you and everything and not really want nothing and still something just don't be quite right. Yeah, you'd be like, and then you feel bad because you're like, I don't have no reason, but I don't want to be that person that's like.
Well, that's when you have to introspect
Yeah,
and you got to figure some stuff out.
because I don't want to be that woman no more that just is like, well, he was great and I just left because it's like, no, I'm really not. There's something's not whole here. And I think if you can apply that to everything else, because like you said, if it's happening in one area, it's happening in all areas, really. It's nothing that you can really escape from.
Yeah, no, it seems like all consuming. That's, I guess, back to our original question, like, why does it seem like Cleveland does that to people?
I don't think it's Cleveland.
Because I would wonder, could I beg to argue that like in another state, say if we had to go to Cali or we're not was in Miami, is it, even if you go down there, like, do you have to deal with the competition, because they got options. They got hella options and it's nothing really stopping you from doing anything. Do they have the same problem here where it's like, well, I'm not really doing much, or is it the opposite problem when everybody's going after that one thing that you want, or more people going after the one thing that you want? Could that be stressful for them too? Is that like, do they go over there and be like, nigga, you just another nigga trying to be an actor, a singer, another entertainer. Like, nobody give a fuck. As opposed to out here where we have a different problem where it's like, not so much not enough. I guess it's not enough people.
Oh, I mean, we probably have more than enough like mid-tier jobs for pretty much everybody in Cleveland if people would just stop being so fucking persnickety about certain things. But it's also just the fact that I think that, one, I got to be very careful about confirmation bias, because just because this is the way I see something and these are the things that I see doesn't mean that other people don't exist, because there are definitely people who are out there who are very successful and very happy in the places that they're at within Cleveland. Like, I've met a lot of those people because my father works in the service industry, and in that industry, people tend to be very content because they typically do pretty well for themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what makes me think, like, is it because it's so, like, I was just thinking, like, why would it was like a real, like, spiritual question. If I chose to be born here, what was the real opposition? Was it because it's so hard, or is it because it was so easy? Can you get yourself out of the realm of, if you make a certain amount, you could literally just get pretty much anything. Like, anything.
Like, once you break 55K in Cleveland, you're probably...
You could live the life that you want. And I wasn't that much money, but that don't really stretch anywhere else. So I'm thinking, like, did I make things hard for myself in a different way? Like, could you escape a so-called, like, an easy situation? Is that what the real purpose of this shit is being born here for?
I don't know. I feel like being born here and just kind of like living in two places, or living in multiple places, is kind of giving me a perspective where I wouldn't say that it's only Cleveland, but it's a lot of like
Midwestern cities,
and like then also like rural, because like when I was in the Air Force, Abilene kind of had this same feel where like you just kind of like are waiting to be married and like have kids and like and like die. That just like, it's just like, yeah, it just seems so like check boxy, and it's like I don't know if that's realistically the best way to do things. Like, also, I know, for instance, like in Georgia, a way that they helped their economy in Atlanta grow was movies.
Yeah.
What they did was create some provisions and everything like that for production companies where they get like tax breaks and things like that for producing down there.
Yep.
But they all have to put the Georgia Peach logo at the end of all their movies that are made down there.
Yep.
That is to advertise and show other filmmakers that this is a good location to make movies.
Yep.
What that does is create more tertiary jobs while this new film markets come, because sure, you got the actors and everything like that and directors that are flying in that are garnering this money, but then you also have the local talent that's being hired for extras and for the food services, and just a new influx of economic progression.
Well, Tyler Perry actually built an entire film stage down there based off of that.
Yeah, that's
So there's
another
now
thing
a
that
center of talent in Atlanta and there's not that many stages like that from what I understand. So
they tried to do that out here, and basically our government, our Ohio and Columbus government, basically said no.
Because they don't like new interest coming in and disrupting things.
That's what I'm saying. See, look, is it because it's hard, or is it because they made everything so fucking easy?
Well,
I mean, but
new interest
really
coming in and disrupting
easy.
things is,
but then it's not really easy.
No,
because it's just like they didn't want them coming in here and disrupting stuff. So that means it's just like by disrupting, I mean there being new money coming in. So that means there being new interest pushing out old interest, and they don't really like that. Like they're here for natural gas and water.
well, the reason, and another reason was too, like, I went into the Demeter and Persephone mythology, and what she created for Persephone was this endless summer. So she didn't want nothing bad to happen to her daughter. So it was nothing for her to really grow into. It was nothing really to challenge herself. It was just, I got papaya fruit, nigga. I got peaches all the time until, she meet eventually her husband. So that's what I feel like this area is. It's just endless fucking.
That's the most.
I think it's like that for us, but then I think
you think they make easy things more complicated?
Not necessarily, because I would say with me being like in the workforce, I think I'll say that with me being in the workforce, remind me to tell you about what I wrote on my arm.
Obviously, because it was a very profound idea. You were wrote damn near 3-4 sentences down there.
Yeah,
damn near started the intro to an entire essay.
This is important. But I think that, like, technically the current job I'm at is the fluky job if we look at it in like honesty, because the plan was to go from where I was at to where I'm about to go. Mm-hmm. Then this just popped up randomly, and me being who I am, I was like, oh sure, and I just went there. Mm-hmm. So when you were like, well, don't just be taking random things for money, this was the random thing I took for money instead of following just the
current one.
Yeah, the current where I'm at. Yeah, because I was like, well, you pay me more than where I was previously, so I'll go there.
Well, it wasn't even that. You were honestly thinking about staying there until you spent time there, and then you were like, I don't like this.
Well, it's not even the lady. It's realistically, I recognize that once I've been a manager and have that level of freedom, I'm not necessarily willing to give that up. Mm-hmm. Two, I'm not really willing to do menial tasks, as in like sit here and it's all, as long as these orders just keep popping up, I gotta just keep doing this and print them out and calling niggas. No.
I love menial tasks because those jobs just always give you the level of get it done and sit there and bitch. Like, I love that shit.
Yeah, I hate that. It makes me feel like I'm dying.
Nah,
so
I like it because
I'm good at my job. Mm-hmm. So whatever job I do, I can do it proficiently enough to build in my own free time. So now I need to find something that's not going to make me want to kill myself while I'm doing it. So menial tasks make me want to die and kill me, and then I'm like, oh my god, I got to quit. Hence why I'm like, I'm just going to go ahead, because like being a store manager, there's going to be so much free time in that. Nigga, they in the store all the time.
And plus, I was thinking today,
and I'm not even the store man. I'm the assistant. This nigga really got to worry about shit.
And I think the one you go into now, they're not open from like. They close at like 7 or 6, so I think you should.
Yeah, they close at 6.
Yeah, so you should be good on retail.
It's supply store rules.
I just thought about that.
Basically,
like,
close the place.
Yeah, they close at 6. It's not a late hour store. Yeah. They don't open super early, so no, I would just
working on random occasions at 10 to 6.
Who's out here trying to buy parts at like?
Yeah, so that's why I was like, this isn't a bad like movement when I looked at the hours, things like that. So I did do some evaluation, but I would say like, I had all these jobs lined up and just like stepped into all of them.
Yeah.
Excuse me. The lady next to me when I was working at the previous job, she was having the hardest time finding like a quality job. And so for me, I'm like, maybe it's just like my perspective that this is so easy. And for other people, it's not as easy as we make it out to be.
You weren't looking for any particular job?
I mean, but no, she was like,
well, what?
Walmart, fucking other like banks where she was at.
Does she have a degree or anything?
Doing the same thing? I don't believe so.
How did you? Okay, well, this probably just goes with how they was raised. Like I was saying, like I had a lot of independence, even when I should not have had a lot of independence. Did you have a lot of it?
Yeah.
That's our thing. I don't know how much independence you had.
Less than some, more than most, because I didn't really fuck up all that much.
We don't think about that because there was no one saying no to us consistently. Like, if you watch how, I hate to say it, I'm not saying every parent. Actually, no, a lot of parents do that. It's a lot of no's and what you can't do, so.
I mean, I got
a decent amount.
Now that I think about it.
Don't get me wrong.
Like, I got no's, but it wasn't like there was no point. It never got to the point where there was no point in asking.
I didn't get no no's, really. It's like, yeah, you could probably do that.
Yeah, see, there's nothing in us that says you cannot. There's always a possibility, no matter, or at least, like I said, it don't matter if it's good or bad for you. Just go towards that.
I mean, if there was something that was obviously bad, that was going to get a no. But if it's just hey, yo, can I go over to my friend's house randomly on a Thursday? Sure.
Man, I remember this one job I had lined up. It was so scammy. So what they was doing was they were getting paid to fill out the loan applications for when they was doing them loan modifications during the recession. And they was using other people's like, so you could use like if we use it together and use our son, you could use your son's income to get my loan. So my parents was like, no, don't sound good. But let me tell you the tantrum I threw over that bad boy. Because I was so excited. I didn't have a job, I don't think, that summer. I just wanted something. They were like, no, we shouldn't do that. So we're not taking you back up there. But why? Now that I think about it, like...
Because you're probably committing some type of fraud.
They would tell me on those things, like, oh, you might be going off the deep end. Sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes it's like... But that wasn't a normal for me to where like my parents was like, no, don't do that. Or like with school when I dropped out, it was like, you got to go back to school. So they found something for me. So like, it's real wishy-washy with them.
There's certain things that were going to be a no. Me dropping out of school, fuck no. Never going to happen. Would have got put through a table.
So we don't have that in us to be like, they got all them filters in their head that said, no.
I never wanted to drop out of school.
Uh-huh.
I would say, never wanted to drop out of school. Never really can think of too many no's. The one story that my mother tells about telling me no, about like my curiosity, she also talks about how she got chastised by the teacher in the class, and then I was allowed to continue to ask questions. She would take me to her college like ceramics class, and there's this professor / also like pretty dope artist named Bob Brady. I don't know what in the class about it that I wanted to ask questions, but I was asking, and then she was like, no, you got to be quiet, because she's like, I'm bringing my kid to my fucking college class. Shut up, little nigga, and don't interrupt, so you're not a distraction. And he was like, no, those are good questions. Let him ask. And so the one time that it was like me being like, hey, don't ask questions, she was overruled. And so it was like, questions have always been like, well, yeah, can I try this? Sure. I had a chemical set as a child that actively had chemicals that if I took them, I would die. There's no supervision. It was just, here you go.
It sounds like you've had a reason.
The best thing for me, but also wild amount of freedom.
It sounds like you were trusted to have reasonable enough sense. It's just like, I'm not gonna drink this.
That's what it was. Is they consider, hey, you got common sense, you're gonna use it. That's what they trusted about me. But wild amount of freedom, like, because I was pouring that shit in the plants and trying to kill them. I just didn't recognize that you had to probably do it over a longer period of time. They probably were able to like bite off of one like dose of it, and I was like, "Are you gonna wither or die?" Like now, because I thought it was gonna be like cartoons, but realistically now, as
bitch was gonna shrivel up in front of his face,
nigga,
and whoosh,
and it didn't. It didn't do that. So I was like, "All right, I'll do something else."
Like, "Hey, bud, could you stop?"
I used to make what I would call potions. Like I would get like. So what can I think of that's small? It had to be smaller than this bottle. So maybe, perfect. You know the little liquor bottles that you can buy for like $1.19, $1.25
everywhere.
Yeah, about that size container. I would fill it with the most crazy chemicals that you shouldn't be playing with under the cabinet. Like I know that you shouldn't mix ammonia and bleach. Putting both of those in there together and putting the cap on quickly because I don't want to smell it and die. But I'm adding other things to it.
I don't know why people keep ammonia in their homes.
I mean,
ammonia weird as fuck.
You can use it to clean.
Why would you? That shit smells like death.
I can't think of the specific things that it's used to clean, but it is used for certain things.
Yeah, people got such a thing
like I'd have
bleach,
to.
But ammonia.
I used to know when I worked at Home Depot because I worked in the garden department, and that's where we sold it. So it was like very important. Hey, you do not keep the ammonia on the same shelf or up under the shelf where the bleach is at. Like they got to be like spread apart. So that way, because sometimes you might like be cutting open a box and puncture a thing, and you don't want 2 punctures to be 1 bleach and 1 fucking ammonia. And now you've got a whole aisle of death.
It's just like, you've got mustard gas. Congratulations, guys. This is banned inside of war, but you can breathe it now.
Yep. Yeah. So no. But I think that it's hard to find jobs out here. I think that it's not even like shit. Jones had the hardest time like finding a consistent good job. Like we have an active person that we know in life that we watch like go through that struggle where it's like, but all of us don't really have that problem realistically.
I have a certain level of skill that annuls me to that inside of a lot of ways. So once I graduate from college, I know I don't have that problem anymore. I just can't get the job that I want.
Before I graduated from college,
must be a special kind of hell.
That is a special kind of hell. That's the worst type of fucking hell. Just sitting
there looking at the job you want, like,
It's just like these are the ones I want.
It's like,
hey, you want to work for us? Leave me the hell alone.
I can't. Oh my god. Oh, no. I'm a virgin.
Oh, you have all the credentials? No.
Leave me alone.
That's what happens.
No, it's more like
it's like a nice tease. It's, oh, you have the credentials. Let's come talk to us.
Really? Come on, come over here.
Come take me out on a date.
Oh my god! Don't you just think my
but I'm not gonna
is
fuck
so
you at the
cute?
End. I want you.
This bitch lifted up her skirt.
Hey, don't you like these panties?
These? I got the
God, the fucking worst.
Pay for my dinner.
Pay for my dinner, please. And you paying for her fucking dinner like hell yeah.
And then at the end of it, she's like, well,
no, I'm gonna go home.
It was a nice night. I'll see you later.
She don't get no kids. She just get out the car and go.
Yeah.
She start texting another nigga. Oh my god.
That's literally the worst.
Hey, no, I'm the type of nigga. Random story since you said that. I've literally driven like 30 minutes to go pick up a chick. Mm-hmm. She got in the car, started texting another nigga. I was like 5 minutes down the road. Immediately was like, oh, so that's what we're doing? Turned around. Was like, you gotta get out of my car.
Oh no.
She's like, you just drove. I know. But we're not gonna do that. She's like,
you're never gonna catch Tony on the sunk cost fallacy.
You're not my nigga. I know, and we have discussed that. But what is also something that we will have is a level of respect for each other. I don't be entertaining none of the bitches I fuck with while I'm with you. I deal with you, and if you can't give me that, you gotta go. And you already talking to this nigga, so get out. And then she tried to no, get out. I'm going home, and then I went home.
Sunk cost fallacy is not something you should ever entertain. I'm already this far. You can't. No. See, the funny thing is, I was going to spend multiple hours with you. Now this is only 1 hour's worth.
Yeah,
of
right now
time.
I hate you. You got me so fucked. What are you doing?
Hey, Why do you take this a long way?
Like, yeah. No, I'm out of here. I'm leaving. Don't make me blow down on you. Like,
please leave.
Yeah, because like you know what this is. Like if I'm just like in the beginning stages of courting you and you talking to a nigga, I'm gonna check you about it, but I'm not gonna leave because I recognize that we don't have no like real like rapport or nothing like that for real. We just in the beginning stages. Me and this woman are exchanging bodily fluids and all kinds of shit. Bitch, what are you doing? We in a situation shit. We not fucking together at all, but we friends with benefits. This is a cool situation, and now you want to be disrespectful. Who raised you?
I just want to be.
And then she was so mad because I would never like talk to her about like my feelings for her.
Huh?
Ma'am, I like you. You're a really dope person. One of the dopest women I've met. You've introduced me to books. You used to let me lay on your lap and you would pluck my hairs on my face with it, tweezers, because I really like that, because I don't like the little bumps, so you would make sure you get them for me. Like, you would do all the like lady things that I really do. Very nurturing woman. You had a kid, so that's probably why. But I was moving to Seattle in a finite date. I knew when. Guaranteed to be leaving. You were guaranteed to be staying with your kid. We're not gonna do long distance. So why do it matter how I feel about you? What is the conversation gonna lead to? More confused feelings and you trying to convince me to stay with you because I feel away? No.
I thought it was all the way out the door at that point.
Yeah, no. We have a great time, and why do you have to keep bringing this up?
Stop it.
Yeah, stop asking. I told you the first time, and then I told you I was leaving, which is the reason why it didn't matter. It's like how I feel about you don't matter because I'm leaving and you're staying. The end. It's not, and then you're also planning to join the military. I won't say branch because I did like specify who, but yeah, you're planning to join the military.
Joining the military when you have a kid already is a very interesting process.
Allowed the kid to stay with the grandmother or the mom, something like that, while they did basic training and everything like that. And
cool,
then it was a weird situation with the kid.
Are a chore and a half if you don't have one person out of the military.
That's not in the military. He's just a regular nigga.
All right. The other thing is if he's actually gonna take the child while you're on deployment.
Oh, he did that.
Oh.
Like, I can't say that he was the greatest child's father, but he is nowhere near the worst child's father.
That's a level of culpability. I automatically thought that he was not gonna clear that hurdle.
Yeah, no. Definitely not one of the worst ones. Like
the fact that he cleared that hurdle and ran into the very next one, you clear way more hurdles than most people.
Hey, yeah. Like
that's such a low bar.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. He also some young nigga shit because they were both young. We were all young really. I was 23 at this time, so I was 22. Excuse me, not 23. Just turned 22. Yeah, because I turned 21 in California, 22 in Cleveland, 23 in Texas. There was a point in time where I hadn't lived in a place for longer than a year without moving. That was an interesting period of time. Most people recognize how old I am because I start talking about like all the things that I've done in life. They're like, how old are you? Oh, I've said too much. You thought I was younger, but I can't have had all these experiences to be young. Because it's like, yeah, I got my bachelor's degree and I went to the Air Force and I lived in California for a while and I was living out in Cleveland now. Wait, how do you do all this? Some of this like takes years of time. Yes.
I mean, you can get your degree while you're inside the military.
That shit is so fucking convoluted. Don't even make me talk about that nonsense.
Oh, it's not. I know it's not fun.
It's not even that it's not fun. It's bullshit. So yes, you can do that. They're not going to allow you to do it within like your first year and a half. It's available to you from the government. Your superiors will just tell you no, which they have the authority to do. And so until they approve it, you can't do it. And then even once they do approve it, you can only do it as much as is available with whatever schedule that you need to be available for work.
Oh,
So
that's
maybe
the reason
one
why.
class a semester.
That's why you don't sign yourself over to a governmental entity inside of part and parcel.
Hey, unless you know
They spit it to
unless
you as
me.
like everything will be fine. You get to travel the world.
Bro, that travel the world. You know, they be on some whole shit. I could have, I would have been in Italy and I wouldn't have been out the Air Force. But they screwed me over because you can't do a three-way trade. It's not like the NBA.
It's not.
No. So I had Abilene, Texas. Another nigga had New Mexico. And then the third person had
Italy.
Avion, Italy. He did not want to leave the country.
Mexico didn't want to be in New Mexico, and you didn't want to be in Texas.
Mm-hmm. New Mexico wanted Texas because he got family in Texas. Italy dude just want to stay in the States, so he don't give a fuck.
So why did you just swap the dude from Italy?
No. Italy wanted to be in
New Mexico. Nigga, you gonna have to take Texas.
New Mexico wanted to be in Texas. I want to be in Italy.
Bro, Texas is only like a hop, skip, and a jump away from New Mexico.
All I know is
Suck it up and let me go to Italy.
I was not allowed to do the three-way trade. And I was like, but we all agree. I'll go to Italy. The Italy nigga will go to New Mexico like he wants. And the New Mexico nigga will go to Texas like he wants. No, once you do a trade, whoever you trade with first, you're not allowed to trade with no one else. Bitch, what? I should have told no one and should have just sneakily traded the Italy nigga. But after going through like months of trading with these niggas, you kind of develop a rapport, and it's just only y'all in this one like unknown place. So these are your niggas for real at this point. It's like, I'm not really about to like
Screw y'all over
you.
entirely.
Yeah.
Well, you're not screwed. See, he wouldn't be screwed over entirely. It's only half a state of Texas, which is like a state and a half of normal states.
Yeah, nigga, that's like an 8-hour, 9-hour drive. Like, it's not something he could just go do on the weekend because we're all firefighters. So you only get a day off. It's 24 on, 24 off. And if they call you back, you got to be able to come back.
I mean, that's technically true for all military. I don't understand people who go to military. It's a very bizarre thing. My sister tried to convince me to do it. I said no.
Yeah, but who's calling finance back on the weekend?
My sister got called back, and she managed aircraft repairs.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Like,
if a plane comes back and it's fucked up, I don't care that it came back on your off day. Get your ass in here and fix it. It has to go back out on another mission.
I managed them.
Yeah,
I literally just signed paperwork to tell you guys to get parts.
Yeah, but these niggas need you to do that so that they can get the parts.
There's like 5 other people that you can call in that do the exact same job.
Regardless, somebody's getting called in to do this, is what I'm saying. But who's calling? You sign off on niggas who need checks. They not calling these niggas in on a Saturday or a Sunday to come do nothing. You couldn't get no help from the administrative anything in the military on the weekend. It was just gone. So yeah, it'll just be you.
I'll be out there balling out in Italy.
Bruh, I would have loved to be out in Italy.
Give me this gelato.
Man,
Get your fucking passport.
I'm not a big fan of gelato.
But
you want to take a trip out of the country as a group?
I am going to take a trip out the country with or without y'all.
I don't care about that. That's not what I asked you.
We can all go. I'm totally fine.
But Ash is going regardless.
Gotta get these goddamn passports.
I mean, I can get that.
Then get it.
I'm thinking about going out to Cali and getting my real ID.
What's the difference? What's the fake one?
Oh, he hasn't had an actual real ID for God knows how.
No.
What's the fake one?
No, not a fake one. A real ID is the ID that also doubles as the passport that you have to do all the stuff for.
Oh, you're talking about the ESA, CSA.
Yeah, it's just called real ID.
Yeah, you can get that here.
Why the fuck would I want a Cleveland real ID?
I don't fucking know. You said you wanted one.
They're gonna give me no. It's not the It's not T. It's through the license bureau. Everybody's gonna have to switch over to these licenses.
Yeah,
but they pushed it back because of COVID.
Yep.
but it's not the TSA like skip through the line. It's a license that is now like your passport.
Yeah.
And you have to give like a higher level of documentation to get these and shit like where you live and everything like that.
What's it called? A real ID?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look that shit up. Then I'm gonna go to Cali and get one.
I mean, you have to have like whatchamacallit, real like
passport, birth certificate, piece of mail.
Yeah, so real ID, Homeland Security.
Oh, Homeland Security is one of the worst inventions I've ever seen in my life.
That's cool. I'm just letting you know that the new deadline is May.
Your new ID, the one that are ready to fly. And if you look mildly Arabic, to get security checked.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that you're wrong.
As a guy who looks somewhat possibly Arabic, they'd be looking at me real funny, like, "You don't look black, guy." I'm black.
Yeah, so now you can you need your social security like number and W-2 pay stubs. There's a whole like litany of things that you need to like get this real ID. But yeah, it allows you like to travel and shit like that.
I'm not that worried about it.
It said to the states and territory. So we need it to go through different states? Is that what it's saying?
Yeah.
The fuck?
You won't be able to fly without it at all.
That real ID. Okay, I need to get one.
Yeah.
So how we get one in Cali? I don't know
get
why
one
you're so
here.
like, yeah, I don't know what the difference is. Why am I so picky about it? You just is like a personal preference or what?
Fuck it. There's benefits to having an out-of-state ID.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
And I don't.
Oh, you just want those?
Have
Do I gotta be like,
any
I live in Cali?
Yes.
There's a very specific reason why Tony operates in the way that he operates, and is flouting certain laws.
Yes.
So it's like,
So we having that.
It's crazy that y'all
They,
mention
like-
that because, like, for homeschooling laws, I'm like, well, how do I say that I live in a different state? Because ours ain't the worst. Like, New York, you got to have actual teachers. And then, like, Cali is nothing. You got to tell nobody what the fuck you doing. So I'm like, if I start traveling abroad, where can I say I lived? And how do I get a fucking residency without being there? That's what I was thinking of. So that's
what do you
kinda
mean?
that-
All you have to do is maintain a consistent stream of mail, and you're fine.
right. But where to?
your
Nobody
parents?
checking?
To the
No,
house that
and
you live in now.
A different state.
Oh,
Get a
oh,
PO
you're
box.
trying to move to a different
Get a
state.
PO box.
Get a P.O. box? Okay.
I would do that, or get like one of those like addresses, because like you can rent like an address space and shit like that.
Yeah, like you can do it for businesses.
Yeah.
They have specific spaces that allow you to rent things out. So it means you can kind of host your business there and have all your mail go there, because it looks a bit more professional than having it go to a home
Address, yeah.
address.
No, I was thinking, like, if you travel abroad, like, you would have to keep notifying Ohio about what you're doing. So I'm like, well, how do I get around that? Because I don't have to worry about that shit every year. If you're trying to, like, travel full time, that's dumb.
I mean,
Oh,
I don't know. I feel like there's
that's
probably
a very
different
specific
regulations
answer.
if you're traveling full time,
Mhm.
and in regards to like education, you might have to just like meet like national standards or something like that.
Yeah,
So I'd
we'll see.
probably do some research into like educating your kid while like traveling
Oh,
abroad
I mean,
for extended periods of time.
as long as you're doing stuff on the computer, it doesn't matter where you are. Once you're in the program, people don't typically check.
No, because
Which-
what if, like I said, she want to go to a school in, I don't fucking know, Bangkok, and you go to one of those expat ass things, like, what is the regulation on that?
Well, I feel like
You're not a Chinese national, so they're not going to let you in.
The knowledge that I know.
Mhm.
I watched what's that, Karate Kid with Jaden Smith, and he got to go to like a school in another country because his mom had a job out there.
Yeah,
so I would assume that you would just have to find a school that like also accepted like American students, and
you're gonna have to have some type of employment while you're there, so on and so forth. And if you can show that you're employed, and then you also you're gonna probably have to have some entity that the entity that you're employed for vouch that you're actually employed by them
to go to the school.
To go to the school.
But no, because I'd feel like I don't know if they'll just let you like be like gallivanting and then just show up, sign up for school, and then be like, all right, well, we're done with this, and then leave. It's like, I don't know if that's
that's kind of
like a terrorist.
They're kind of dictatory. Also, I mean, I'd understand it's an arbitrary thing, but I would not show up to bank. I could sign up my American.
No, I'm just saying that's kind of like,
just like,
I mean, if
they'd be like, ooh,
the way she wants to move is kind of like a terrorist. Hey, come, let me like immerse myself inside of your thing, but not officially, just like unofficially under the radar, and go to your school and thing like that, and be a part of your society, and then just leave. Nigga, what?
But that happened a lot because you think about people on military bases. Like I know it's out there, but I was just thinking.
But if you're on a military base, you're still on American soil.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I was just thinking, like, how does this all work? But that's like a couple years from now.
And then there's teachers like on military bases in schools.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, full scale employment. It's like it. So, like when you're, no matter where you are on a military base, it's kind of like a little slice of America.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like people who do this and know how to get their kids into school. I just was thinking about it because that's just funny that you brought that up.
You know what helps ameliorate a lot of things?
Because
money.
Because I knew, like, eventually, like, I know I'm going to leave here. And I'm like, I needed something along the lines of what you was talking about.
Well, if you have money, then if you have enough money to be like traveling abroad, like on a consistent basis, I would assume that you've reached a level of affluence where you can like afford to like pay for certain things.
Just make some friends inside the upper tiers of society that once you get there, you got to get to flout the rules.
We shall see.
That's the way stuff works.
Yeah. No. That we were talking about work, but I don't have anything else to say about being out here. I think it's pretty easy, and I feel like we can take a break.
Yeah.
All
righty.
We are back.
Baby, we're back.
I'm gonna watch this and make sure it records like it's supposed to. All right, there it goes. Adobe is
and soon I will just be doing it without you.
Yeah, I love that song. I was wrong.
Oh, you already know how Tony feels about me, Ashley, and Charles karaoke.
I'm like, damn, we literally just came back. Like, how did we get here?
That's one of
like
my
we literally talked about where we was headed, and then y'all niggas just take a detour. Stop singing, Charles. I feel like it'd be you. It'd be you that start this, and then she ain't never got no problem with like swooping on in.
Never. I'm singing this song in my head right now. Give me a chance to make you see.
What?
Have you used up all the love in your heart? There's nothing left for me. There's nothing left for me. Hugh
Hefner's a piece of shit. That's how I'm gonna just start this. That's what you want to do.
I mean,
that's fucking song at the back of my head.
I mean, I don't understand how dudes were idolizing Hugh Hefner.
No, he's pretty dope.
Yeah, because he got bitches.
Yeah.
He paid for bitches.
He also did. I mean, it don't matter.
It's just like,
not to the niggas that want to get bitches.
I mean, yeah, paying for bitches don't matter. And he didn't pay for all of them. And
most of them, after he started building his Accord, they just came.
Yeah, and I guess I would say, all right, so the reason we brought up Hugh Hefner is there's a Hugh Hefner Playboy series that's coming out, and one of the things that was revealed is he used to have pig nights weekly, which is where he would get the local horse, prostitutes.
The horse.
Yeah, and from these two pimps.
Ladies of the night.
And have them have a good time with him and some other celebrity buddies that he had. His wife at the time said that was one of the stranger things that he used to enjoy. She's like, I used to like overlook a lot, but that That one right there. That struck me as really weird.
You aren't even irritated that he's just out here like, I'm about to go over to the local prostitute night, wife.
No. He hosted the local prostitute night, which started with a dinner.
None of these things surprise me. They probably had the Ron Swanson special. It's just like, what you doing? I'm eating steak.
The fuck?
I feel like
only rare.
I wouldn't be surprised to hear about Hugh Hefner inside of the dude that they killed in prison.
Epstein?
Yeah, inside of his like whole little like buddy club.
Sex trafficking cabal.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it just all of that kind of feels the same to
that
me.
can be real easy to delve into that arena. That's like, especially if you're not paying attention, nigga. You
like
just scooping them
how
up.
are you finding all these 18-year-old attractive women?
And they all know to say they 18 or 19 or 20 or whatever the fuck gives niggas dicks hard.
You're always find them every single time.
Every single time. There,
it's just like
you.
I got a good talent scout. You know.
Okay, Hugh.
He find them.
Well, she
Ain't
find
nobody
them.
really asking no questions.
I take
He
pictures
smuggles
of
them into the country.
Oh my God.
And then after they turn 18, they just pop up on a ranch and get paid. This is their bribery.
Yo, I still got this brothel idea where I want like all just like ethnic females inside of a brothel. And then I want another brothel with just like weird oddities. Like she ain't got no leg. Like the other one.
What is wrong with you?
I'm so serious.
I was
That's your entrepreneurial spirit coming out.
I've been had this one. So my friend, when I used to work at the prison one, he caught the first one under the Tuscan sun. The second one, I wanted to be wild.
We need to talk about the second one.
Yes.
You said you want her not to have legs.
The other one to be like morbidly obese. Like I want some weird ass shit.
I'm gonna hit all y'all random fetishes.
I want the midgets. I want the girls at 6'7". I want all these bitches to come to my brothel and work for me because these niggas is paying top dollar for these oddities and I need them coins.
I need my schmeckles.
You going? I don't know what that's.
The fact that you calling them oddities is so.
Man, we not. What we gonna do?
There's your
Lie?
name, oddities.
We gonna lie and be like, this ain't some weird shit? No, you here because it's weird shit. And because you got the weirdness going on. It's all right, baby. I'm weird too.
You need some random. It's just like, what do you mean? There's a reason why you want the girl with size 15 feet.
Exactly.
I'm normally the pretty out there of the bunch of us sexually, and I'm just like, this is also a wild ass idea. Like,
no, it make perfect sense.
Like,
don't ever let Ash in Vegas.
I understand what you're saying.
Brothels illegal.
It does make a lot of sense, and I'm down to start a brothel. I also thought about think we should start a club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's one of the random things that I tried to have a group of people pull together, and actually, we tried to make a bar. That didn't work out. I did a lot of groundwork on that too. I had pricing list.
We should make a new bar. But
I would also need people to run it. I don't know how to run a bar.
We have people that can run a bar.
Who?
Do you discount Frankie?
I don't think he can run the food part, but he can't really run the alcohol. I don't think.
He used to be a wine server. And like the liquor pairings for everything. Like that was a really big thing of his. Like,
well, liquor pairings. I mean, I'm more so talking about setting up, mixing a drink and making sure the like John Taffert style bar is profitable.
He can learn that part.
If he wants to do it, that's the other thing.
I don't think he'd be opposed to it.
My ideas are great.
I think that we should be able to get 5 people that all have $2,000 and come up with a goal and start a business by the end of the year.
I wouldn't be against starting a bar or a bar/restaurant, but that's a real steep business right now in COVID. Kind of.
Oh, it don't gotta be that. I just think that we could do something by the end of the year. Like, I feel like that's a realistic thing.
I'm also not necessarily a fan of arbitrarily starting businesses. Like, starting something for the sake of starting something isn't necessarily my thing.
I wouldn't mind doing that until after something else kicks the fuck off. Like, I'm not opposed to starting a new business just for the fuck of it. But something gotta go off first. Something has to be. I'm not opposed to doing all that stuff, but I would rather have, like, especially in this day, like, more so an investment group if I had to do anything with that money. But
that's more so what I mean. It's like a group of people.
yeah.
I think we've already talked about some type of group investment firm or some type of pool type thing.
Yeah, like, we
where
could
everyone chips
probably,
in.
maybe we could rather people up for the metaverse and the crypto or some shit like that.
Yeah.
That's something I'm more
I probably
comfortable
wouldn't
with.
do
But, like,
crypto,
brick and mortars
but-
scare the fuck out of me.
Brick and mortars don't necessarily scare the hell out of me. It's more so brick and mortars just mean work.
Yeah, no, I don't. It's a lot in my head. Until all the other stuff go on, like, then I'll be more confident. But this point in my life, I'm gonna be real honest with you. Brick and mortars scare me. But that's something on the table.
But you know what else is on the table?
What?
Wendy Williams' pussy.
Wow.
You gonna get some?
No.
Would you fuck Whitney Williams? Would y'all fuck Whitney Williams?
No.
No, what?
Why not?
She looks like an alien.
Close your eyes.
What? I don't understand.
Close your
Like, what's the
eyes.
point then?
I don't
Her
fucking
voice.
Why am I
know.
doing this?
Her voice. Can y'all hear her moaning to y'all? Oh God.
I was just about to say I can't think of her voice, and then you did it, and then it immediately played in my head, and I was like,
She's
God,
just
how
like,
y'all
well,
sorts of
that's
nasty
never leaving.
shit.
why did you need?
Hey, Daddy.
You know, I'm good with not thinking about her voice because I don't listen to her. So if you could just stop doing that,
Oh shit.
Inside
That's
her
what I
knocking
get.
shit over.
That's
knocked
what
her
I
whole
get.
purse over. Shit fell out and everything. That's what you
That's what I
get.
get.
Play with this
For
goddamn
wide enough
voice.
for Wendy Williams'
That's what
voice.
I get.
I didn't need
Jesus, I already really, as a person, I am not a fan of Wendy Williams because I am kind of against anyone who, like, subsists off the things that she subsists off of, which is she literally just feeds on the negativity and the strife of other people.
Yeah, like I guess my equivalent would be DJ Academics, and no, I wouldn't do that.
Oh yeah, I don't really like DJ Academics either.
I wouldn't do DJ Academics.
It's just like I just subsist off of drama. That's what I do.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you're not really taking an interesting line on it. You're not trying to use it to crack any jokes. You're not using it like, you're not
Okay.
really generating any content. You're just saying it in a sort of a provocative manner. Did you know that Hugh Hefner had sex parties?
Her pussy is probably bald too. Now that I think about it in my head.
Well,
But Wendy Williams reportedly was
Got
playing
sauced.
with her
but
with
JJ,
her shit in front of her
Kindly
manager
escort
and
it
some
out.
other guest because she was a little under the influence of that.
she was wasted,
yeah, and feeling herself,
obviously.
and then she started feeling herself,
I mean,
and then they
You
called
know.
the cops and said, "Get her out of here."
they whack for real. The cops whack. People call the cops was the wrong one in this situation because I feel like, yeah, just play your pussy out and masturbate.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
Who are you to say she can't do that?
I am offended.
That's
why-
exister in this given
Pussy out,
space,
Wendy.
Mm-mm.
and
Need to have a whole pull your pussy out revolution.
Whoa.
I'm not going first.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, so are you gonna go and just be like
just go
in
out.
some type of
I'ma
like
be the
business
wrangler.
meeting and be like, you
You
know
see?
what? Time for me to just start getting to this pussy action.
If I see somebody else do it, I still won't. But I will send her roses because that was courageous.
Oh, yeah, no. You can't just be pulling your pussy out.
I mean, you can just do it, but
You
don't
can, clearly,
don't
but there's
don't expect there to
consequences.
be repercussions. No
There's
repercussions.
consequences.
There's like
so
Pull your
yes,
pussy out.
yes, you can. Just
depending upon how
can.
attractive you are. That I guess if
Damn, if she wasn't Wendy Williams, was she anybody to call
there
they
was a
fucking
possibility
cops?
there would have.
Or if y'all
they
just
would've
kept
skated.
going. Who can pull their
No,
pussy out?
no,
Y'all
no.
not calling cops now. Who's the scissor pull her
well,
pussy
I wouldn't
out?
have called the cops on Wendy Williams because that's not my first instinct. Like if you're
You need to
drunk
go to
and just
jail, yeah.
masturbating, I'm just really confused and
You need to get away.
I mean,
Weird,
it's
and
possible that I would exit the situation
Yeah,
before
like,
that would have been.
It's time for me
I'm
to
gonna
go
leave.
home.
what are you doing? And even if SZA did that, I would say, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Woman,
Why?
I adore you.
Why?
Do not degrade yourself like this.
What are we doing?
No.
You are burning down the church of SZA.
Like, if I was the manager and there's a couple other like showrunner and assistants around, and we're all like getting ready to end the day, and you just come out and we're talking, having a little meeting, and you just start taking your pants off and getting to your. What are you doing?
As a manager, it's just like,
stop that.
It might be time for me to manage you.
Take my coat off.
Excuse me, Wendy, don't do this to me. You sound like Fran Dresser. Get your ass in here.
You know, if
That's
you don't
funny.
cover up, I'm going to leave. Because I don't know what the fuck is going on right now.
Neither do I.
But what you're doing is unacceptable. But I don't have to be here for this. Like, I don't need you to go to jail, because that was confusing to me too. She just played with her pussy. So why'd y'all call the cops? Why didn't you just leave?
You probably felt threatened. Wouldn't you feel threatened if you saw Wendy Williams?
No, I'm leaving. I'm running away. Unless she's like
parts of this.
playing with her vagina and then also blocking the door, and like
start spraying
somehow
bodily
she's
fluids all
like
over the place.
she's like, no, you can't get out. No, you can't get out.
You're not
Like,
going nowhere.
Yeah, if she's doing that, then yes, I'm.
But why?
Then I'm
want
calling
to
the cops.
feel.
But if she's like over there in the corner just getting to her shit on the top of the like conference table, I'm just gonna get off of the chair and
I
be
swear
like,
to God, I'll fucking nut on you right
you know,
now.
I gotta get this paper from the copy machine. I'll be right back, and then I'm just never gonna come back.
And there was someone, it was just like, why'd you leave?
I don't.
You know why the fuck I left? Why you even answer?
Why
You know
did you
what?
stay? Why did you
She's
stay?
blocking the door.
You stayed there. Yeah, no, unless she's blocking the door, like wiping her pussy juice on the door handle or something like, unless she's being weird like that, then yeah, I'm calling the cops, because now you're antagonizing and like being aggressive.
Interesting situation. Somebody
This
just
is-
at the door jerking their dick out, motherfucking dare you.
Yeah, like if you're doing shit
Somebody,
like
I need
that.
help.
Yeah,
I am removing myself from this situation.
Yeah, other
gone
than
crazy.
you trapping me
He's
in the
held me
room with
hostage
you
with his
while you
cock.
masturbate, I'm leaving, because I don't
This is
feel
like,
like
why are you doing this? Because this is what it requires for me. This is what this is what's required for me to actually get my rocks off. It's just like, well, I'm removing myself. If someone leaves, it's never gonna happen.
Like, yeah, there's no one that I could see that I could be okay with that. Like, now if we're alone and you just start doing that, cool. I'm all for that. That's like one of my favorite things to honestly watch a woman do. But if we're just like having a meeting and you just start pulling your pussy out
In the middle of a
I
business
don't
meeting.
know what's going on.
So ratings are down.
I'm also leaving because I'm uncomfortable,
The
and the
line
way
has
our
been
society is set up, I might still go to jail for what you're doing right now.
I gotta go.
So I have to leave. Maybe that's why they called the cops. Maybe it was all guys and they just didn't know what the fuck to do. And it's like, just pull the pussy out.
And it's crazy. Hey, this is
911. What's going on? Wendy Williams got her pussy out right now, and we're all men,
They were like,
and we're not
"Wendy
doing
Williams."
anything. We're not doing anything. We're not doing anything. I promise you.
Hands
she's
are
just,
up. Here's a picture.
you just
Here's a
here.
picture.
You got,
A screenshot
hey, you got an
Do you
iPhone?
have
I'll
FaceTime?
FaceTime you. Exactly. I will FaceTime you. So you can see us. Come get her. So unless it was just like all men that were in that situation where she's playing with herself and they just didn't know what to do, I'm calling the cops in. Like, yeah, if it's me and nothing but guys and you as the woman playing with yourself, I need a third party in here to come and get you. Because even if we leave, you might say some wild shit.
Right.
I need the cops to escort you out and to know that we did nothing to you.
Okay.
But if it's me in mixed company and there's a couple of women around, I'm getting the fuck up first and I'm out of here. You ladies can deal with that. This is not my problem.
Well,
Y'all all have
as
the
a
same
woman,
parts.
here's your moral obligation to deal with this while we as men extradite ourselves from this situation.
We
Yeah.
gotta go.
Because there can possibly be bad things that come back on our head that probably won't happen for you. So you guys call the cops, we remove ourselves, no one did
Or we
anything.
all just leave together and she just stays in this room doing whatever she wants to do in this room because
She just walks out,
She
Technically,
grown. She grown.
pelvis
She
thrust
grown.
out, following you guys into the elevator.
Oh, no. You can't pelvic thrust with me. You have to stay in the room.
Nope, I'm coming for you.
See, and that's when we call the cops again because back to antagonization.
She chasing you with her pussy.
Yeah. And I already told y'all she looks like an alien to me.
Have you ever seen that cowboy dance where everybody with the pelvic thrust thing?
Mm-mm.
Oh my goodness. And that's what I'm imagining, except she's just following you, jumping, jump, pelvic thrust,
Just her
pelvic
mouth
thrust.
open, slob coming out. Because he keeps saying she's like an alien, so I'm just imagining.
Eyes going in two different directions.
Seen like
but
her
still
body?
Yes, like,
Because Wendy Williams is hella skinny, right?
but then
No.
she top
No,
heavy.
she is skinny.
Is she?
Yes.
And then she real
If you
top
see-
heavy.
Is she said like the letter P or something?
Yep. That's exactly what the fuck that
is
is
the
like.
least. That is my
And
least
then her
likable body type.
shoulders is like, and
I
then
don't
she got
understand.
some big ass titties, and then it just
Shape likes just like the letter P.
Yes.
Jesus fucking Christ! What is wrong with
I
you?
told you she's real top heavy.
She reminds me of an alien.
The alien that looked at like the first blonde person that came here.
Bruh, yeah.
This is what I will emulate.
Yeah, like her body all anorexic skinny, and then she got these weird big ass fake titties. She ain't got no ass. It's saggy
Is it
back there. Her
weird?
face is weird and plastic surgery up, so she kind of look like Lil Kim, but also like a Kardashian, but a Klingon. So I just she's an alien. And so yes, no. If the alien comes after me, I'm calling the cops.
Does it look? Is it messed up to say that she looks like the person?
Yeah, this gotta
Like,
stop
those-
sometime.
Do you actually? She looks like a person who, if you showed a whole bunch of pretty people to somebody, they pulled it all together, but it did not come together well.
Yeah, look at her. Look at this. Look at her nose. She got the Michael Jackson nose.
Oh, she's been had the Michael Jackson nose.
Yeah, but the rest of her body, look at her fake ass titties, and then what's below that? That looks like,
Why
Bruh,
did he say that she?
bruh, what it looks like to me is that you took a skinny white girl's bottom half and attached it to like big giant balloon titties.
Mm-hmm.
And you just like connected together
10-year-old
like
boy.
It looks like a Lego.
Shit.
She looks like a Lego person put together.
Yes, that's what this and
Click.
I'm not. And then what is that dark thing right here by her ass? Is that a tattoo?
It's a tattoo.
Is that a mark? And then why does she have a tattoo on that flat ass? That shit not fat. It doesn't look nice.
I don't know how.
Her ass wrinkly.
She looks like
She got the King of the Hill ass.
Yeah, but no, it really looks like she has like a Barbie doll shape type thing going on for her.
Except for the titties are giant enormous and they're not proportional to her body. They don't make sense.
Oh, she shaped like
She
a letter
didn't
P.
get the lower half to make this like look normal and just have like a small midsection. She just is like a stick with this top.
What about those girls that get the plastic surgery, right? And they get their ass done, but then the legs don't match?
That's scary too.
I've seen that. It don't look like the foundation. Like they foundation.
The roots are not strong enough to bear your weight.
Like they legs look like my fingers, and then it can look like this. Like just look at my fists and then my legs.
It looks like they're just two
It's
cancerous
disproportionate,
growths on
yeah.
your butt.
It's
It's
like
just
y'all couldn't
disproportionate.
afford to get y'all thighs done. That's what happened.
Y'all should have evenly spread out that money a bit more. Just do the entire thing.
Yeah, but so no. If
Or you could just do it
Williams
through
chases
hard
me,
work.
I'm gonna run away because she's terrifying.
Yeah, there's nothing
And-
appealing possible about this situation.
Like I told y'all, she looks like a fucking alien.
I mean,
And that-
now that y'all need to keep like a masturbation squirt bottle in there, so that means it's just
Yeah, like she's a
Squirt
cat.
like a cat.
Yeah. What are you
Get off the
doing?
counter.
Get off the counter, Wendy.
Wendy. Get off the counter. We can't afford to call the cops on you anymore. You need to keep the show together.
Yeah, no.
Just scurry
So
off
you
in the
just
corner.
gotta,
Stop.
you know, so
She scurries off like she's a person from The Grudge.
Yeah, just.
yeah.
What is wrong with you?
But I don't have anything else that I want to talk about. I'm ready over the Wendy. It's just she put her pussy on the table, and she
I don't
shouldn't have
want
done
it.
that. And I
I
think
feel
that,
like that problem. I don't know how. Like
if y'all are gonna send men to jail and for
she needs to hit the clink.
she got to be, if y'all cancel. Who was that comedian Louis C.K.
I was just about to bring
for
him
pulling
up.
his dick
They
out.
still kind of lightweight protesting my homie.
Exactly, and he only be releasing his special on like his own website and things like that. He just released one again, and so, but you got this woman pulling her pussy out and doing the same thing, and I don't hear no cancellation. But you know, whatever.
I actually didn't even know this happened, but
Yeah, same thing. Exactly, and that's the point. The nigga do it. Oh, it's a huge spectacle. She do it, and it's all right. We just move on. She was just a little drunk. Maybe he was a little drunk. It's a little dick. It's a little pussy. But one career got altered and the other one, no one heard about this, and I had to bring it up.
All right.
But we're out.
Fuck this. We out.
'Cause it's